Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Meghann, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin the Believer.
Happy Easter hangover.
Yes. Yeah, for those of you listening, it's been a full week.
Oh, yeah. Time warp is always so weird with recording, but it was a busy little weekend.
Oh, nice. I was busy with like annoying things. I wasn't busy with anything super fun. Not that spending time with, extended family was not fun. That was great. That part was the exception.
Nice save.
Thank you.
It wasn't that nice of a save.
Oh, shoot.
I'm just teasing. No, it was jam-packed for us. We decided spur of the moment to go to the Easter parade.
Okay.
Which actually turned out perfect because we walked up, we didn't know where to sit. We noticed a lot of people brought their lawn chairs. I thought, oh, this is going to be a long parade. But then there was a restaurant right there, Romero's. I'll go ahead and give them a shout out because they were great
Nice.
service, great food. I've been there a lot of times, single and younger, but it's still there. And we got to sit right on the sidewalk, and I got myself a Bloody Mary. I'm like, this is how to enjoy an Easter parade, my friends.
Yeah, you did better than those lawn chair people.
Right. They were all envious of me after that. So
I bet. I also had a Bloody Mary out to brunch on Saturday morning. I forgot how fun that morning was.
There you go.
Kid-free, bunch of girls from, my high school crew that I still hang out with.
That's very nice. No, I was not kid-free. I was getting pelted with candy, but at least I had a Bloody Mary to make it, manageable.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. Oh, man, I love a good Bloody Mary.
Yes, they're the
best.
best.
Do Bloody Marys one night.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
We never do them. They're so good.
It reminds me of the time that Tim and Chad, some of our best friends, had a Bloody Mary challenge.
Oh, that was fun. I got to be a judge.
It was great. But then we all drank Bloody Mary so much that by the end of the night, we were like burping and indigestion. And Tim goes, that was a lot of acid to drop in one night. Made me laugh. So Bloody Marys at the parade started off my day, and then we got random free tickets to go see Sir Elton John.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It was very cool. And so Chad and James and I went, and we had a blast. Thank you, Emily and Jewel. They gave us the free tickets, and we appreciate them for sure. They were a great time. But if you've ever been to the Yum Center in Louisville, it is like when you're in the nosebleed, you really feel like you're going to tumble to your death at any second.
It's so steep.
Even sitting.
It feels like if you were to be a fool and jump,
you
would immediately fall 3 stories.
Immediately, for sure. So it was a little uncomfortable at first. And then we figured out that we could go down. I mean, I was like scouting. I saw 4 seats that were open for like the first 5 songs.
Oh.
I'm like, look, I feel like if I had glasses, because I need them badly, I could see what section number that is and we could get down there.
Yeah.
But I thought I had a good idea of it. But we got down there. I was totally ready to let's just do this. Let's be wild and crazy. Let's get as close as we can to Elton John. But instead, we decided to play it cool, and we got down a floor, and then we were comfortable and we could stand. They allowed people to stand. So I was like, well, we're not young anymore. We won't break all the rules. But then it was a lot of fun. And we stayed for a couple songs. Like, we didn't stay till the very, very end because there was about 5 at the very end we didn't know. We're like, you've seen Elton John. We've been in the same room with him.
Yeah.
This is magical. And we're going to call it a night. But before we went, James was like, I just want to hear one song, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, which is a great song. It's like sentimental.
So the down
Don't
on
let
me.
the sun go down on me now.
I don't think I know that.
Oh, it's like a kind of sad, sappy song, kind of about like, I feel like it might be about being once famous, and then, so it's kind of sad. But James wanted to hear that was the last song he wanted to hear, which was fine. But at that point, he had a little bit to drink. So as that song comes on, he starts like twirling me and starts dancing, which was fun. But then he kind of like started like kind of getting a little, frisky. And I was like, not to this song, you weirdo. Like this.
Or in a huge stadium with your best friend Chad.
Right. Well, Chad was like gone getting drinks, but
okay.
Chad walked up at perfect timing. I didn't know he was right behind me, but he walked up behind me to me going, quit humping me to Elton John. And we all died laughing. And Chad was like, that is quote of the night, and got out of his Facebook immediately and typed that in there.
I read that. I had no idea where it come from. I'm glad to get the origin story.
Yeah, it was definitely from James. And he was like, and then I felt bad because he was like, well, I was in the moment. I'm like, yeah, but wrong song, buddy, wrong song. I mean, maybe even Tiny Dancer, but even then, I don't know. No Elton John gets you going.
Elton John does not get me in the mood. Our friends, Jewel and Emily, who had the extra tickets, they had 3 tickets to give away, and they put it in our little group text, like, hey, we got these tickets, y'all can have them. And I read it immediately. And then I was just quiet. I didn't say anything at first. And then Meghann texted in a private one, hey, you're not seeing the text messages here. And I was like, girl, I'm seeing them. I just don't know how to kindly say you couldn't pay me to go see Elton John. I could care less. Like the thought of getting nice looking and then going out to Yum Center for Elton John. I'm sorry, Elton. I'm sorry. I know you're like a icon. You're a knight. You're knighted.
Yeah,
he's a sir. And yet, don't care. I don't care at all. I also don't care about music. So there are very few people I would spend even time equity to go see.
That's what I was going to say. Like we are very different in that. Like I love music. I love concerts. I don't love them at Yum Center, but I do love concerts. Well, clearly Yum Center is not going to sponsor us now, but that's okay. I don't feel like we were in the running anyway, so screw them. It's their fault.
Down the line, they're like, we want My Skeptical Sister at Yum Center. And then they track this.
We're going to be at Yum Center.
Oh, no.
That'll be the day.
Ruined.
Oh, that would be horrible. I never would ever want to be that big. The amount of people that were in there, it was unreal. And I always get morbid. Like I'm in there and I'm thinking, first of all, like I had to literally, and Chad and I were joking about how we had to like hold on to people's shoulders that we were getting past. Like, don't let me fall, you know?
Yeah.
Strangers were just like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But grabbing their shoulders as we're passing by.
That's horrible.
I know. And then I thought if there was any sort of natural disaster, any sort of emergency, I was like, we're screwed. We're all screwed.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, whoever designed that place, I mean, boy, I'm really being rough on Yum Center, but I feel like it's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Oh boy. Yeah. I feel very crowded in there, but I would go see like Lizzo in there. Mm-hmm. I would go. I mean, I saw Lady Gaga there, and she was amazing.
Well, I figured out the key. The key is to just go to your seats for a couple of songs. Let the security guards get really comfortable.
Yeah.
And they don't really care anymore.
Right.
They get into the music themselves. They're all focused. And then you drop down and you just get to stand. Because I can stand. I mean, I'm supposed to stand anyway during concert. It feels more natural. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's very true. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, cool. Well, your weekend was definitely more excited than mine. I mean, between stuffing eggs and hiding and
the hiding of the eggs was quite funny too, because we had to do that when we got home.
And you were a little drunk.
We were a little tipsy. That's one way to put it.
Ooh, and it was late. It was like 12:30.
It was. We got home late. You can definitely tell who was a little bit more intoxicated by which eggs were given out by who. I was like trying to find little nooks and crannies. All of his eggs are just like thrown into the grass. But that's okay. The Easter Bunny, he delivered. They didn't care. They loved every second of it. Except for I kind of felt like I had to force them to search for eggs this year.
Yeah.
Did you have that same thing?
I heard my kids at 7. I heard Penelope get up and I heard Nora say something to her, but I couldn't hear what it was. So then I was like, okay, they're going to sneak out and check the baskets. I'll give them a minute. And then I waited for them to bust in the room. Nothing. Totally fell back asleep. At 7:30, I woke up. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What are they doing? I walked in and they were on their tablets in their bedroom.
Oh, how weird.
I was like, don't you all want to do the egg hunt? And they're like, yeah, we're waiting for Sophie. I was like, you'll wait till 10:30 if you wait for Sophie.
Wake that teenager up.
Yeah. So I was like, I guess it's time to get up, you weirdos.
Who are these kids? I mean, when we were little, oh my, every Christmas, we had to sleep in the same room.
Yep.
Oh, I hated it, but you all made me sleep in the same room.
Yeah, it's tradition.
It was, I mean, up until we were like 15, I was like, this is getting ridiculous.
Up until like people were moving out, and then you threw a fit. You're definitely the one who was like, I'm not doing it anymore.
It was ruined so silly. I was so tired. I'm like, no, it's bedtime.
To be fair, it was just the kids of the family. It wasn't like our parents were in the same room. That'd be so weird.
That would be so weird. No, just kids. Yeah, and then we would wake up. Like our older sister would always wake up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah, we would sit there and needle that time down.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, I was the one that was like, just another hour of sleep. I've always been like that. Just give me another hour of sleep. But nope, not you two. And so we'd always have to get up and
Yep.
But yeah, same with my kids. Like I was up before they were. I'm like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
I'll just wait till they wake up, I guess. But even like once we got outside, like I'm thinking the race is on. Go get these eggs. And they're all just kind of like hanging out. I was like, go get the eggs. And then Miles sees a bird. He's obsessed with this bird's nest. He thinks that the daddy bird's going to kill him. So he like
is going to kill Miles?
Yes. He's like, comes in today. I'm going to kill that daddy bird. I was like, why are you going to kill? I'm raising a little psycho. Like, why would you want to kill the bird? He's like, because it wants to kill me. I was like, what about this bird makes you think it wants to kill you? He said, it is so creepy, Mom. If you could see this bird, it's a dove. It's a dove. It's one of the brown doves. I don't know what's going on with my kid, but it's, they're not the prettiest birds.
Yeah.
They're a little bit like their feathers are kind of, they're not, I don't know what kind of dove it is, but they're not the beautiful, nice doves that you think of. So I can see why he thinks it's a little bit creepy, but I'm like, we don't kill things just because they're creepy. That's not what we do. It's a bird and it's protecting its nest.
Right.
Leave it alone. That morning, he got real mad because everybody else got all of the eggs on the trampoline while he was over checking out the bird's nest. I'm like, that's on you, dude. I mean, that's real life. Like,
yeah,
get in the game or go look at birds and try to kill the daddy bird, and then you get left out.
Both valid options.
Yeah.
But you will miss out on something.
Yeah, there's a moral of the story in there somewhere, I think.
Oh, yeah. We got an update from Michaela. She still loves us. I think she loves us slightly less. But I tried to warn her. I tried to be like, hey, we got real tickled during yours. But I didn't tell her why. And then I was too nervous to go into detail. And so I didn't say much. And she was like, I'm sure it'll be fine. And then it came out today and she was like, okay.
Let me explain.
So in Michaela's story last week, if you remember, I don't know if you could understand us. We were laughing so hard.
Oh my gosh, we're laughing so hard.
But Michaela's new coworkers were talking about how there was a ghost that haunted the bathrooms near the gym.
Uh-huh.
And so we got real tickled because I couldn't figure out why she kept talking to her boss and to everybody about the bathrooms. But turns out there was already talk about the employees complaining about the employee bathrooms. And she was like, well, I just go to the ones in the gym. And they're like, oh, well, let me tell you.
This is why we don't use those.
That makes more sense. And truly, I thought both ways were fine. It just made me laugh that you were so open about your bathroom locations and so vocal about it. But yeah, we apologize. It was a lot of laughing. So hopefully.
Well, if you picture it the way you picture it, it's kind of like the show The Office satire.
Yeah.
Like the new person comes and like they're all just sitting around at the water cooler, just, shooting the shit. And the new person comes up and is like, I use the gym bathrooms. And then just like walks away. And then they're all like that. I'd imagine that's kind of what you were picturing.
Yeah.
Like, well, why would what?
Okay. Weird. Good to know.
Yeah. So I'm glad she cleared that up. It didn't seem in character for her to be strange like that, but you never know outside of.
Again, some people just need you to know things, and that's fine. But she did say, I still do love you. You didn't really warn me, though. I was like, I know, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was like, how is she going to word this? Like, your bathroom talk got me going. That was hilarious.
I know. I didn't. I'm sorry. We love you, Michaela. All right. Well, are we ready for some stories?
Yeah, I think we're ready.
You want to go first?
Sure. So I'd just like to go ahead and say this.
Okay, I'm nervous already.
That we're always looking for stories.
Yeah.
I mean, we need them. We want them. We like to have a whole lot of them saved up so that we feel nice and comfortable.
Yeah, we need a cushion.
We like that little cushion. So if you feel the urge to get on Facebook and type out your whole ghost story, fight that urge. Type it out in an email and send it directly to us because that's kind of our moneymaker. We don't make much of it, but that's kind of what this gig is.
Yeah. Without those stories, we're just going to talk about Easter eggs.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, come on. That, like we said, was riveting.
That happens once a year, people.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And while we could sit here and talk forever about absolutely nothing, let's just be honest. You all are here for the spooky stories.
That's right.
So having said that, we've had a couple of people get on our Facebook page and type out their spooky stories, which I get the desire to do that because it's like, it's immediate feedback. I can just put it out there and see what the group thinks. And if you feel that way, we can also then post your story after we've read it so that people can talk about your story if you would like. That is perfectly fine. But the lovely listener fan, I guess, I hope she's a fan. Maybe she's just in
not
the group.
Now. She's like, oh, you won't let me post where I want to post?
Right. Well, she was so gracious, though. She posted on the Facebook page, and I immediately was like, oh, that's a story. You're going into a story here. So I poached it. I took it for myself. I copied it, pasted it, put it in our notes, and then sent her a little message. And I was like, hey, I hope you don't mind. And if you want me to, if you don't want us to read it out loud, we can totally put it back up there. But I didn't want anybody to read it. Yeah. So she was so gracious. She was like, oh my gosh, no, thank you for taking interest. I think she just had no idea that we would be interested.
You all need to know how unprofessional and how starter we are. Don't ever feel like, oh, I don't think I could write an email enough. I'm sure you're fine.
Oh, this email is great. It's awesome. Fine. And there's lots of spooky things that happen in it that I might have to say UFO on a couple of these things.
Okay.
So I think that maybe they didn't even realize what a gem they had.
Okay, great.
So luckily, they were very gracious and said, we can do what we want with it. And here we go.
I'm glad I didn't see it.
So this is from the lovely Jennifer. We don't have a mean spirit in our house, and it's not very active, but there is a spirit.
Okay.
We started remodeling our home and changed the front door, and this was about 6 years ago. After we did this, we noticed every night it sounds like someone is unlocking the front door.
Ooh.
The door never opens. It is just the sound of it unlocking every night.
Still, that happens every night?
That's what I thought. Listen, we just thought the door is settling in, but now it's been 6 years.
Oh my gosh.
So for 6 years, it must be like clockwork.
Yeah, I'd have to sit there and watch it.
Oh, with a stethoscope? I mean, I would be like in there.
Did you say unlocking and then locking?
Just unlocking. Like every night, it sounds like someone's unlocking the door. And I don't know, is it over and over?
Yeah. Is it unlocked in the morning?
No, she said it's never unlocked.
Oh,
it's just the sound of it unlocking.
Only the sound. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. I told you.
It's like it was a dad ghost. Clearly a man who's
lock that door.
Is this door locked? It's new. I better test it.
Right.
Well, yeah, but all right. Okay, it's locked. Fine. I'll walk away.
Oh, that is dad. All the times he would lecture us about turning off the lights.
Oh my gosh. Man. And now it's my husband. I'm like, oh, why are you my husband?
It's ingrained in me. Every time I go past, I'm like, and then I sing, every light in the house is on. There you go. Musical again. Okay. Then in 2018, we got a puppy. Now, the door makes noise every night, but the puppy doesn't react every night.
Okay.
Only on occasion, she will be sleeping, and just out of nowhere, she'll just start barking at the front door. Or she won't take her eyes off of the front door. So she'll just sit there quietly watching the front door.
Oh, that's weird.
Mm-hmm. One night, my hubby was asleep, and my daughter and I were up watching TV, and she went absolutely crazy barking at the front door. My husband got up thinking someone came to the front door, and it must be bad.
Wow.
Nothing was there, so we were like, it must be the ghost.
Huh.
For some reason, starting in October 2021, things started happening once in a blue moon. My husband saw something flip through pictures. Now, I think this is up on, they must have a picture book somewhere.
Okay.
Because I think she left a little part out. So I'm not quite sure what the pictures are, but saw something flip through the pictures. And then the pictures went back to the position they were in.
Huh.
So what do you think that means? Like a picture book?
Yeah, it sounds like a picture album.
The same night, he felt a cold breeze go past him. No windows or doors were open. There is a plaque on top of a bookcase, which you have to stand on top of a ladder to get to, and it was sideways one day.
Oh, that's weird.
Right, like no sound, just laying sideways.
Yeah, that makes me think of Sarah's candle. Remember how her candle lit one night?
Oh, yeah.
Up high, you had to stand on a chair to get it.
Oh, that's weird.
Those tall ghosts are the sneaky ones.
Yeah, they are sneaky. Or maybe they float.
Well, that was kind of the joke.
Oh. Sorry, sometimes things just go right over my head. Okay.
Just like a floating ghost.
Just like a floating ghost. One night, it felt like someone sat on my bed when my hubby was lying down.
Ugh.
Those are.
Wait,
ugh.
but when he was lying down?
So he was lying down.
He was
next
already
to her.
lying down.
So she's like, it wasn't him.
Okay. Ugh. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be invited in my bed.
Yes, for sure. Always. If you're not, even if like I know you, even if you're one of my kids, you wait to be invited.
Yes, for sure.
Like my kids know that well enough that the other day Miles was sick. He was sick one night. I brought him into the bed because he was so sick. And then the next night he's like, so Mom, can I just get up and get into your bed? I'm like, no.
Yeah, nice.
No. You can say, hey, Mom, I don't feel good. I'll come and assess the situation and we'll decide whether it's bed worthy or not.
Exactly. 100%.
I've always been like that. I'm not that mom that likes to share her bed.
Well, you're also the person who didn't want to get up early for Christmas morning.
I like my sleep, and I'm okay with that. Trust me, you want me to have good sleep. You don't want me to be a bear because
Trust me, I'm not fighting you on it. I've known you my whole life.
Yeah, I get it from Mom.
Yeah, I know you do 100%.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Then in December, we were all in the family room and my husband was messing with the dog and all of a sudden something fell in the other room. Well, it didn't fall. It was like something was thrown across the room.
Oh,
this is the one that I'm like, well, this is weird. It was a wooden peg from a furniture piece and all of my furniture pieces with wooden pegs were missing none.
What?
Yeah. So imagine hearing something like ping. Nobody's in the room next to you.
Yeah.
It sounds like someone threw something and it hit against the wall.
Okay.
You go in there and the only thing laying on the floor is a little wooden peg.
Like the little ones that you put in between two wood pieces?
Oh, like your chairs don't have them, but mine do. Yeah, like on the back of your chair, you know, that like little raised bump?
Yeah, okay.
That if you get a tool, you can take those out.
Right.
Those are the wooden pegs. So they found one of those on the ground, but all of her furniture that has wooden pegs, nothing was missing from those.
Okay.
So it was a wooden peg from the furniture piece, and all of my pieces had their wooden pegs.
Huh.
We have no clue where it came from. It kind of slowed down a bit again after I saw from the corner of my eye a dark figure in the hallway. Well, last night, so I didn't know the date of when they wrote this. It was like about a month ago.
Okay.
Well, last night I woke up out of a dead sleep to a smell like an old lady's perfume, like it was my husband's mom or grandma.
Wow.
It was strong. And then in parentheses, she says, they are both dead.
Oh, that's good. Because if you're making fun of your mother-in-law's perfume before she's dead.
True. Very true.
Oh, boy, you're going to be in trouble.
I thought, I am not opening my eyes. I turned my head towards my husband and the smell went away. So that's interesting.
That is interesting. Also, I'm sorry I said it's good that your mother-in-law and grandmother are dead. I didn't mean that.
I went right along with it too.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yes.
I'm glad you will not get in trouble for making fun of their old lady perfume.
Exactly. What we wish is they just weren't there to hear that.
Yes. I'm so
that
sorry. I'm sure they were great people. But you did call it old lady perfume. Nobody ever wants to be like, ooh, that smells like old lady.
Yeah. Nobody likes to be the old lady perfume girl.
Yeah.
I have more from when I was a kid, but I will share those in a couple of days. Again, write them into our
email,
Jennifer. Yes, or DM me. I don't mind sliding in that DM. Give me something to go off of, but just not up there for everybody to see.
Yeah, that's our job.
Yes. So, gosh, they're good.
They are good. I have my theory. I need to hear yours first.
Oh, boy, it's always hard when you have a theory and I don't. A debunk theory?
No.
Okay. Smells are hard because I'm like, oh, there's a lot of things that people smell when they're going through different states, like the body is going through different things.
What do you mean? Like the body
like
smelling?
I don't want to say a stroke, but I'm like, there are certain things. There's certain things that you do smell at certain times.
Yeah. Have you ever heard you smell toast if you're having a stroke?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I tried to convince a doctor that I used to work for. He was like, I keep smelling toast. I'm like, you're having a stroke. And he was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I was like, you are a doctor. No one in that office building would believe me.
What?
I mean, I need you to call someone.
Or Google it. I mean, I'm like, just Google it.
Nobody believed me. And he's like, I think I just had toast or something this morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, you are too old to be not sure about this.
And also, if you can't remember if you had toast.
Yes. Regardless, if you smell toast and you're not sure whether or not you had it, you need to call
Ghostbusters.
You need to call 911 because I was very uncomfortable. That whole day, I was like, I'm really thinking you're having a stroke. Never confirmed. I quit that day. No, I'm kidding. I kept working, and he was fine the next day, but it was suspicious. But yeah. But
so that's what I mean.
Old lady perfume, though. I don't
know
the cause.
I mean, but also there could just be, a window could be open, a scent could come through from something, somebody's coat you brushed up against earlier in that day. I mean, I feel like a scent is something that could travel and it can just happen.
Okay.
The wooden peg one is the UFO for me. Like where if they just found the wooden peg, that wouldn't mean much to me. I'm like, that could have just fallen out of somebody's pocket.
Right.
But the fact that they heard it being thrown and nobody was in the room, and then there was evidence of something there.
Right. Yeah. This is more proof.
The dog. They do have a dog, though.
Okay, well, where'd you get the peg from?
I don't know. Maybe outside in the yard, dogs dig up stuff. It could have been a wooden peg from the last owners that somehow got outside.
Okay, how'd it get thrown?
He's Arlo, and he's shaking his little head because he's like, ooh, this is the best thing I've ever gotten. And then, ping, there it goes.
Wouldn't they have said, I heard the dog rustling around, and then something?
They could have. I don't know how much of a detailed writer Jennifer is.
Likely excuse. It just confirms my theory that it is a dad, like an old kind of grouchy man who is like, well, are these doors locked for real? That's the first spot. And then the second one, he found that peg somewhere. Okay. And he's like, are you kidding me? You're not even putting this furniture together right? Just tosses it across the room like, okay, I guess this isn't important. Bing. Throws it like, I'll get your attention. Can't believe you didn't even put that peg in right.
And then he sneaks in after having that affair he's been having with the old lady perfume all over him.
This is why I hate men.
I hate old men dads.
Except for our dad.
Our dad's great.
Oh, and if you're an old dad listening, I'm sure you're fine.
Yeah, which would be so weird. I doubt that that's our audience. It'd be very interesting.
Old dads.
Just like, old dads.
My skeptical sister's on.
Honey, you watch the game without me. My skeptical sister's on.
Oh, that's so cute.
Okay, we changed our mind. We like those old dads. Yeah. Just not the cheating assholes that are like, I'm going to ping furniture pegs at you. And,
right? Don't do judgment about furniture build.
Come on now.
I build furniture beautifully.
How about, I don't judge you for that affair with your old lady perfume.
Oh, but I will judge you a little bit.
Judge you for that. Okay. But then you don't get to ping furniture at me.
That's true. We'll judge each other. We'll just be hostile. I love that this started out with her being like, they're not very active.
I know.
Every night?
I know.
Every night the lock turns? That's active.
Yes. Okay. So that makes me, the fact that it's every night, I want to know, is it like clockwork at the same time every night? Either way, I need to know what kind of lock it is. I need to know where it was manufactured. I need to know a lot of things. But I'm wondering if it's not just some sort of, mechanical thing inside the lock that like ticks.
Yeah.
That is just kind of broken.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really interesting. It is weird that it's every night.
That you can hear it every night for 6 years.
Right. And have they ever been near the door when it happened?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like if they sit near the door, does it not happen?
Yeah.
And then as soon as they like go in the next room, they can hear it.
Right.
Because then I would say you got a prankster in your hands. You got some long con kid that's like, I'm going to freak them out. And does like the sound of a lock, even if it's not that lock, but from their bedroom, they're like, it's time. For 6 years. Boy, they're good. They're good.
Yeah. The other night when Sophie was babysitting, Kevin and I were watching some show in our room and the girls were getting ready for bed. They're kind of like settling down. And we both thought we heard Sophie come in the door and say something. I thought to myself, boy, that's early because they're at a concert.
Yeah. So it's Meghann.
No, it was like 8 o'clock or something.
Oh, yeah. The concert was just getting started.
Right. So I said, Sophie? And Nora yelled out, no, that was me. I was talking. She said that from her bedroom.
Yeah.
And Kevin, I was like, oh, okay. And I laid back down to watch her movie. And Kevin goes, then how come I heard the front door open? He was like, I heard the front door open too. And I swear I heard Sophie. I heard the door open and Sophie.
Okay. So I hate to throw Nora out of the bus. No. wrong phrase. I don't want to throw anybody out of the bus, but I also don't want to throw them under the bus. But she is the kid that snuck out through her window once.
Yeah, she did.
Which really I was quite impressed with. She was so young. How old was she?
She was like 7. I know. I'm scared for my future.
To get out of a grounding, by the way. She was grounded.
Well, guess who was in charge of that grounding? Was I home? No.
Yeah, just like I just caught my son sneaking. I went downstairs to tell my husband goodbye. I'm going to go over and record. I come up. I'd already kissed Miles goodnight. I was like, Mom's going to go record. Love you. He didn't realize I was then going downstairs. And then I come up and he scampers and then he sees me. He's like, oh, I was just going to do something real quick on my computer, but tell me when you're going to go record. I was like, oh, I am on to you, buddy.
Yeah. Turd, 5 years old.
But yeah. Men supervising kids.
No, I would fully believe that she would be lying to me, except that when she called back, as soon as I checked, she was definitely laying up in her top bunk bed. It was weird.
So, scary. What if somebody opens your door right at the same moment that she said something?
I don't know. I think it was a glitch in the Matrix.
Maybe.
I think in that alternate reality.
I skipped the concert and came home early.
Yeah. You were like, oh, I forgot. I'm not impressed by Elton John.
Turns out I've heard Tiny Dancer a million times on the radio. I'm good.
Yeah. Sophie comes back and then we glitched back into this one. I'm telling you, it was weird.
That is weird.
It was odd. It was just weird. I could have brushed it off, but then Kevin confirmed it. And I was like, oh, we didn't even talk about that. It was weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. So I don't know. It sounds like you do have an active old man, judgy dad.
What if an actual person?
It sounded like you were about to be asleep.
I mean, I'm just thinking, or an active imagination mixed with somebody that you live with that's just trying to mess around with you a little bit. But we didn't say that the actual furniture peg could have been brought from somewhere outside of the house. Could have been an actual person doing that.
Throwing? Yeah. Why would a squatter try to get caught?
I don't know about a squatter. Somebody who lives in the house. It didn't sound like it was just her and her husband.
Oh. Yeah.
What if kids do stupid things or weird things. What if they just, this was from my pocket. I picked it up somewhere. I don't even know where it's from. But they're walking through the kitchen and ugh. And they just throw it. Or they go to throw it in the garbage can and it pings up against there.
Yeah, and I want to argue with that, but my kids would definitely do something that annoying.
I know, exactly. Yeah,
but she made it sound like they were all together.
I don't know.
I heard it. What about that cool breeze that went through and there's no window or no air conditioner on?
Cool breezes don't do it for me. I mean, I feel like, again, they could come from somewhere that you're not expecting. Somebody could have opened the refrigerator and all of a sudden there's a cool breeze. Yeah. You didn't realize that happened.
I need to hear more about the pictures to understand it better.
Yeah, me too. I want to know, is it one day he came in and the pictures were turned upside down?
Yeah. What about that one? What about the sideways plaque?
I mean, but something could have bumped that. Could have bumped the big cabinet and it could have fallen sideways.
That is very precise bumping for it to not, it lands on its side. It should topple over after that.
Maybe.
I don't know. Okay, well, I think it's time for my story.
Okay, let's hear.
Okay, I'm going to read a story from the person I think I was supposed to be best friends with.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, and from Owensboro, or at least lives there now. Why did I not ever hang out with this person?
Oh, is this Mindy?
It is Mindy.
Nice. I love Mindy.
Mindy and I share the most special favorite movie of all times, Saving Silverman.
Oh, Saving Silverman. I was going to go Twilight.
No. I love Twilight. Twilight's one of my favorite books of all time, but it's not one of my favorite movies of all time. Although I will watch it literally at any moment.
I was going to say, I've seen you watch it a lot.
Yeah, I've watched it a lot. I bring up our favorite movie because the subject is, I want to party with you, which is what Jack Black famously says to Neil Diamond. I just love that their idol is Neil Diamond. It's like if your idol was Elton John. Who cares about Neil Diamond? I mean, I love him only because I love this movie so much. I would go to Yum Center to see Neil Diamond.
Oh my gosh.
I would.
What is so funny about this is that you're comparing Elton John.
Yeah.
Elton John. He doesn't mean anything to you, but I'm like, he is Elton John, Erin.
Right.
Like, that should mean something to you. And it absolutely doesn't. And that is hilarious.
Yeah, it doesn't at all.
The stadium was packed.
I'm sure it was.
Packed in little Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
I mean, this man is a legend.
I am aware. I get it. I know that it's weird. I know that I'm in the minority here.
You definitely are. I think it's funny. People are probably listening like, what? It's Elton John. Like, but you're saying it with such confidence as though it's like, I mean, like, why would you ever forget about Elton John?
Yeah. Well, it's true. It's how I fully feel in my heart.
Hilarious. And also, Neil Diamond is pretty big.
Yeah, Neil Diamond is pretty big. I would really love to go see Neil Diamond. And I would totally say, I want to party with you.
But you would only go see Neil Diamond because of Saving
Silverman. That's true.
You're a mess.
Also, I want to say this is the last Saving Silverman thing I'm going to say, but I'm sure it's not.
Oh, I'm sure not.
That's my
favorite.
Does it already? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. No, when Kevin and I were dating, but like seriously dating, I think we were close to being engaged. I was like, well, here's the ultimate test. I need you to watch Saving Silverman. And that man sat laughless and joyless.
Yeah, that's your husband.
Through the entire movie until at the end. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to spoil it for you. They kidnap Neil Diamond. He's not even that big of a part. It's like a very side story that Neil Diamond is so big in this, but whatever. They kidnap Neil Diamond and they're like in a high-speed chase. And Neil Diamond goes, hey, look, we're coming to America. And they turn on a street called America. And Kevin laughed so hard I had to stop the movie because he was missing more jokes. It was the only thing he thought was funny.
Oh my gosh. That's
wrong with you.
Hilarious, because that part was so ridiculous.
I never had laughed at that moment ever. And he was like, it's the song We're Coming to America. I was like, only a Canadian would think that's funny. You were such a nerd. He didn't laugh at any other part. He still hates that movie. He's like, except for that one part with Neil Diamond. I'm like, I hate you so much.
Oh, it's a great movie.
I don't know how he hoodwinked me into getting married, but whatever.
He sure did, though. You're here.
Okay. Anyways, back to why we're here. So Mindy writes, oh, hey, y'all. I'm back again. This time telling my dad's story from when I was younger, when him, my sister, and I lived in a historic home in Owensboro, built in the late 1800s. When we were younger, it was just my dad raising 2 little girls on his own, and money was really tight. For a period of time, my dad's best friend Paul moved in with us and rented one of the bedrooms to help with bills. So picture Full House.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Uncle Joey moved in.
It's like the exact storyline.
Yeah, that's funny.
My dad had an office in the basement, and one day he came up around lunchtime and saw a young girl with a short bob haircut in the kitchen wearing a denim jumpsuit. He turned away and then looked back where she had been, and she was gone. He brushed it off as it was just his imagination. Later on, Paul told our dad he had seen something weird in our house. My dad asked what he had seen, and Paul told him he had seen a little girl wearing a denim jumpsuit with chin-length hair, and that she disappeared when he looked away and looked back to where she had been. Mind you, my sister and I had been playing outside, and our only friend who had come over had shoulder-length blonde hair. Did she say what color hair the other person had?
Nope.
Okay.
Debunk.
Okay.
It was the friend.
Hold on. My dad hadn't told anyone about what he saw before and was stunned that his friend had seen the exact same thing. Well, no, it could have been that friend. Why did we bring it up?
Right? I win.
Shoulder length. Oh, she had shoulder length hair, Meghann.
Not chin.
Not chin length.
They're 2 men. I'm sorry, Mindy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They are 2 men observing a girl with hair. They're not gonna. They're men. They don't know.
Okay, let's keep reading this.
Okay.
You should know this is a cold read. So I never saw the figure, nor did my sister. I was only scared of the horrible stories my sister would make up and tell me. I
don't know why you would think any sister would ever do that.
Before, she would lock me in the hallway closet or the little closets that were in our bedroom. She would make me sleep on the side of the bed by those closets so that she would be closer to the door to escape when the ghosts would come out to get us. What a jerk, right? I
love it.
I get it. I totally feel this. Our chandelier in that house tended to move on its own as well. It was also a little eerie, but never felt unsafe. My sister has another story about the house. I'll see if I can record her and send that in as well. Mindy.
Please do.
Yeah, that was from Mindy. So it was a little shorty, but it was a good one.
Yeah. Except for that it's just two men making a wrong observation.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the fact that it's chin length hair or shoulder length hair, I need a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it was both time in a denim jumper is kind of interesting.
Was your friend wearing a denim jumper or anything denim? Because again, they're men. They could have had a denim little bow in their hair, and like I think it was a denim jumper.
It was all denim. Yeah, no, I need to know, like, was their hair color? Because you mentioned your friend's hair color. You didn't mention the figure. I need to know that part.
Yeah.
Before I can fully commit.
I feel like, I don't want to speak for Mindy, but because she put it in there, I feel like she meant to say one of them was one colored hair. The other one was another color.
Me too. Because I'm like, oh, how can we only know one color?
Mm-hmm.
I also feel that way.
But either way, being somebody, and did she say that they live in a neighborhood or they live in like a farm? Does it say kind of what area they live in? Because here's the thing. We live in a house where there are kids everywhere in our neighborhood.
That's true.
Also, let me clarify. Erin and I do not live in the same house. People, first time listeners, like, oh my gosh, they live together. No, like we're weird. We're not that weird.
I would totally live with you.
Also, if you live with your sister, you're not weird at all.
I would totally live with you.
That. I know. We've said that many times. Like, I know. We should like live in this
I'm
house.
Offended at the moment, actually.
I know. Sorry, but it would make total sense. You and I should raise the kids in one house.
Yeah.
Our husbands should build things in the other house.
Yeah.
And we'll just send the kids over there when we need a break.
Right. And when we need, like some alone time with my husband.
Not we.
Why are you making it weird every week?
You said it like that.
I mean, sometimes I want my husband more for just, his handsome mustache.
Right.
Right.
No. I get what you're saying.
Use them. I'm cutting that.
Oh, there you go. Just lay it all out there.
Just cutting that. And I was kidding.
No, you're not. That's funny. Okay. Well, anyway, it would be the dream though.
Right.
Yeah. We could get shit done.
That's right. My
point, that whole thing is that there are plenty of times that kids are in my house that I didn't even know they were in there.
I don't know what that says about you, but yeah.
No, I will like walk out of a room and be like, oh, well, when did you get here? Like 10 minutes ago, you weren't here. And I mean, our door is just always open. So they come on in.
Right.
They make themselves at home, and which is great. That's how I want it. But I don't know that they're there sometimes. Penelope the other day, like Miles even asked me, is Penelope here? And I was like, oh no, she went home a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And then I just kept on going because I really thought she had left.
Yeah.
And then from the basement up walks Penelope. I was like, oh my God, where have you been? She's like, in the basement. I was like, I had no idea you were here this whole time.
Yeah, I can tell that exact same story, but reverse. Cause I said, hey, Penelope, did Miles go home? She was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, good. It's bedtime. You need to go brush your teeth. And like a minute later, Miles walks out from the back. I guess I'll go home now. I was like, what? He was just playing by himself in the back room. What are you doing?
I know. Kids are weird. That's what I'm saying. So if they live in any sort of area where kids are prevalent, it could have just honestly been a kid in denim clothes.
Okay, so hair color doesn't even matter.
Yeah, at that point, it could have been the same kid.
Okay.
They could have seen the exact same kid. That kid was coming in for a snack, saw a door open. I had a friend of mine. I'm sure I'll message her to make sure she's okay with me telling the story, but it just cracks me up. They had just moved into a new neighborhood.
Okay.
And they're in their house. She has 3 boys, and one of her boys and Miles, like they grew up together. Well, she has twins, so they all 3, but this kid and Miles are so similar. Like we would just exchange stories about how like wild these 2 children are.
Right.
And like toe to toe until she tells the story. I'm like, oh yeah, you win, girl. You win. Because she said they're in there like painting their new house. And she happens to look out the window. She thought all of her kids were downstairs playing with toys. She looks out the window and she sees her son. He's like 3 or 4 walking down their brand new neighborhood.
Oh my gosh.
Street. Buck naked. And not only buck naked, but carrying a frozen pizza. They have no idea where this child got the frozen pizza from. And he's just buck naked carrying a frozen pizza back to their house. And I was like, what did you do? She's like, we ate the pizza. And I love that story. She's like, what are you going to do? Like, go knocking on doors and be like, is this your pizza? She was like, we just were like, whatever. So again, she said, now I did, like, she says she starts to meet neighbors and she's like, disclaimer, if you see a naked kid running around, it's mine. Just please bring him home.
Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
That is so good. Yeah. I was very much naked toddler. I was naked all the time.
Oh, you were naked all the time.
There are very few pictures of me dressed for like 3 years until mom bought a little frilly slip, and then I wore that every day.
That was it. Yeah. You, one of your famous stories, Erin's always known for her cuteness because she was the baby.
That's right. I still get those cute stories.
But one of mom's favorite stories to tell about her is she is like, have we told this before?
I don't know.
It's cute enough. We can tell it again. We're slowly turning into mom. We just keep retelling the same stories. One day, mom walks downstairs and Erin is in front of the TV. She's got her little hands behind her head. She's got her little legs crossed, but she's butt naked.
I was 17. No, I was 2.
You're so silly. I did not
2
see
or
that
3.
coming. That made me laugh a lot. Okay, yeah, she was tiny, and she was laying in front of the TV, and she's laying down with just relaxed. And mom comes down. She's like, "Well, hey there, Erin. Did you forget something this morning?" And Erin looked at herself like up and down. Was like, "Nope. Just wanted to see what it felt like to be in myself today." So cute.
You were pretty funny.
Adorable.
It's funnier now because I'm basically a never nude.
Yeah.
I'm like never nude anymore. I was nude all the time. I got it out of the way.
Huh, yeah, you're a never nude. Is that a thing?
Oh, from Arrested Development?
A never nude, yeah. I was like,
you
why
see
is
him
that
like
so
in the shower
familiar?
and he's wearing clothes?
Yes. I know, I was like, why is that funny in the back of my head somehow?
Great. Okay, well, we have read our 2 stories. So now it's normally time for fan favorite, but no, I won't. Guess who dropped the ball?
Okay, I dropped the ball. Look, it's coming. I have a feeling. I'm gonna will it to happen. I've sent her an emergency message. Things are gonna happen. I've called in reinforcements. It's gonna happen. It's fine.
would just like to remind everyone that this was your idea.
You've already done this. Look,
okay.
I've done this before. It has happened. I have failed us on many occasions. Tends to be now. It's because I think it's the same way I text. I think that I've responded. I think it in my mind. And therefore, if I've thought it in my mind, it's happened.
Yeah.
So I like check it off of that list. Like, oh yeah, you did that. No, I did not do that.
Well, all right. Well, because we have a little bit extra time, I'm going to read a little short email. It's not very long.
I appreciate you for stalling for me. Thank you. That's
You're
what
welcome.
Sisters are for. They don't typically call you out beforehand, but that's okay.
Fully call you out for it. I don't know what kind of sister relationship you think you have, but I'm definitely going to call you out for your faults.
This is the one I'm in.
Yep, that's it. Okay, this is from Melinda. She's written in before, and she's one of our wonderful Patreons.
We love Melinda.
We do. I can't wait for our movie night.
I was trying to say that, but my mouth was full of wine. I was like, if I say this now, it's going to be very messy. So my lack of enthusiasm was just trying to swallow.
Been there. I'm so sorry.
Every time
you just
I step right
dirty.
into it. Why? And then you yelled at me earlier for you.
For me?
You yelled at me earlier because you were like, why do you make it dirty? I'm like,
because you make it sound like
it
I'm turned on by you, and I am not.
No, I just mean you make it sound dirty in that moment.
Yeah, because you keep lining them up, and then I'm just gonna leave that. I'm just going to let that sit there.
No, you can't.
Everyone is at home thinking, I can't believe
I know.
She just said something about swallowing and nobody's going to go forward with that.
I feel like there might be also an equal amount of people out there that heard that and didn't think anything about
maybe
what you were thinking.
Sure.
Oh,
sure.
Lord. Okay. Move on. Go on.
Okay. Anyways, now on to our sweetest fan.
Oh, and she
cannot believe.
Now I'm so embarrassed. We cannot give her that introduction. She is like the kindest, sweetest person ever. Oh okay.
My gosh. We're so sorry.
Okay, we need like right here, put a commercial in here. Cleansing palette. Like
Palate cleanser.
Palate cleanser, thank you.
Cleanser palate.
I'm sorry, I'm verklempt. My cheeks are red. I was like, oh, we just talked about swallowing and now. Okay.
Okay. All right. This is full admission, cold read.
Okay.
Ouija board and bittersweet goodbyes.
Oh.
No,
and
yeah.
It's sentimental.
Again, so sorry.
And commercial. You'll hear it when we come back.
Meghann, we need to take a minute to tell everyone about Ana Luisa.
All right. Well, Ana Luisa, spelled ANALUISA, is a jewelry company that has a huge selection of really cute, unique jewelry with fair pricing, starting at just $39.
They release new jewelry collections every Friday, and Mother's Day is coming up. Our listeners can use the link shop.analuisa.com/skeptical for buy one, get one 40% off.
That is amazing. And our jewelry just came in, and it is beautiful.
It is so beautiful. I love it. People are complimenting me left and right when I wear them.
So you got to pick out 3 pieces, and I got to pick out 3 pieces. Unfortunately, I am allergic to metal, so I can't wear any jewelry, which is fine, though, because there are plenty of people in my life who love jewelry, and I'm always looking for great gifts. So I've decided that I'm going to give my 3 pieces to Mom for Mother's Day, whereas you can be stingy and keep all 3 of yours.
I know. Well, when I picked them out, I was thinking, oh, this would be good for Mom. But then I loved them all so much.
I know. That's what happens.
I don't think I can give them away.
Well, you don't have to. You just enjoy that jewelry, and I'll be the one that
You'll
looks
take
like,
all the credit.
I'll look like the good daughter.
Oh my gosh, you're going to be such the good daughter because they're beautiful.
They are beautiful. But that's the thing. Even if you can't wear jewelry, they make a great gift.
Yeah, my earrings, I'm telling you, I'm going to post a picture of them. They're eye-popping. They seem fancier than anything I could ever afford. So I was shocked to find out they were totally in my budget.
Yeah, and they're perfect. They look just like you. I mean, they're gorgeous. Oh. Yeah, good pick.
They're little pictures of my face.
That would be so weird for this jewelry company to sell your face on their jewelry. But, you never know.
Well, you did say they look just like me.
You're ridiculous. Well, listen, if you would like to buy some jewelry for yourself or for a loved one, remember that it is Ana Luisa, spelled ANALUISA, and our listeners can use the link shop.analuisa.com/skeptical for buy one, get 40% off.
That's shop.analuisa.com/skeptical for buy one, get one 40% off. Hello. I saw your post on Facebook asking for stories, so I have a couple of short ones from my dad.
Oh.
When he was a kid, he and his siblings got a Ouija board for what they thought was some harmless fun, which is never harmless fun.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
According to Erin, that's just for real.
They decided to try it out one day and asked it a few questions with no response. Eventually, one of them thought to ask how old their uncle was, who was in the other room. The board answered 46, and someone read the answer aloud. When their uncle came into the room and said, "How did you know my age?" This scared them enough that they put it away and never got it out again.
Really? Just the age? That was enough?
That was enough. Confirmation.
Also, I was fully anticipating the uncle to be 12 years old. I don't know why.
Well, that's a weird thought.
I just never thought of adults sitting around playing a Ouija board.
No, the uncle they're in the other room.
Oh, the kids are in the other room.
The kids are in this room, and they're like, how old is Uncle Sam?
Oh.
And it said 46.
And then they said, hey, how old? They said, are you 46?
Well, it says that he just came in like he overheard.
Oh, interesting.
Which sort of makes me think, not to debunk. I hate to be the debunker.
Yeah, but like he just made it up.
Be like, did you say 46?
What? That's like he's listening in on the whole conversation. Right. He's going to just
really, he's
razz
37
him.
And he's like...
I mean, that sounds like the kind of aunt I am. So yeah.
That's why I was skeptical. I've met you.
Yeah.
The second story was when my dad was in Vietnam and the Air Force during the Vietnam War. He knew his grandfather hadn't been doing well, but he wasn't able to go home to visit him. One night, he had a dream that his grandfather came to see him with his grandmother, who had previously passed, to say goodbye. And his grandfather and grandmother walked off together. The next day, he found out that his grandfather had passed, and he believes that he came to say goodbye to him since he couldn't be there.
Aww.
A second part of this is that when my grandmother was extremely ill, my cousin was living out of state at the time and was unable to make it to see her. One night, she came to see him in a dream to say goodbye and walked off with my grandfather, who had previously passed. The next day, he found out that my grandmother had passed away. He was completely unaware of my dad's experience until after he shared this.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty weird. Makes me think like that's generational. You know, like someday, like they all go back and visit their loved one in this family.
Yeah.
I'm sorry these aren't longer. Girl, we love you.
Yeah, no, thank you for giving them to us.
But I hope this helps a little. You two always bring a smile to my face, and I appreciate all you do. Stay spooky and skeptical.
Oh, we will. We will.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, again, they're sentimental, so I'm not going to touch them.
I know, and I sadly debunked the uncle.
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
Just because you've built such untrust in me that
I know.
Here we are.
It's good. It's a healthy untrust.
It is really interesting that they both had such similar experiences with that.
Mm-hmm. It makes me wonder if the experiences had been shared at any point.
I don't know. It's weird because you hear of that happening so often.
Yeah.
That it gives it so much validity to me. Like, I mean.
Well, I think the desire to see a loved one after they've passed.
But they don't know they've passed.
Okay. But they're longing for them. They're not there with them.
Yeah, but still.
And they're like older. And the thought of like I can remember when, and not to go get sad, but I can remember being in Puerto Rico when Grandma Rosie passed away. And I knew that she was sick.
Yeah.
And there was a big battle, like internally, like, do I go or do I stay?
Yeah.
And I talked to her right before I left, and she was like, you absolutely go. And she said, you go and you get into that ocean, because she loved the ocean. Like they would always like talk about how I could not get her out of the ocean, which is like me. Once I'm in there, I'm like, I'm good. Like I want to be in here the entire time. Like I don't want to sunbathe. I want to be in that water the entire time.
Right.
And so she said, you go get in that water for me. So like it was she was so prevalent in my mind during that time. I mean, that's like all I thought about that entire trip.
Yeah.
A lot of it was like regret. Should I be there? Should I not? But I don't know. So I don't know. Like it depends on. No, I did not have anything paranormal. I will say that. Like I didn't have anything like she came to visit me when she passed away. It wasn't anything like that. But I could see how in some sort of dream state, something, especially if they're on your mind, and they might be sick, or they're there, you're thinking about them, they could show up in something like that.
Yeah. That'll be our picture this week. Our picture of our beautiful grandmother.
Oh, that'll be perfect. Yeah. And thank you for those memories, Melinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grandma Rosie, she was the best. So, I mean, any way that you can have another moment, whether it's dream state or a memory that just pops in your mind that feels so real, I say grab those memories up for sure.
Yeah. I'm just going to stick with the fact that so many people have that dream of one last visit, and then they wake up and find out they passed. It just seems too coincidental. I would like to hear if anybody's had that dream of a loved one coming to say goodbye, and they woke up and they're like, I'm fine.
Oh, I'm sure that happens.
I've never heard that happen. I'd love to hear that.
I'm sure that happens. Yeah.
I did have a dream the other night that my teeth were falling out, but that's because Penelope will not freaking pull that tooth. It's still there.
Still a country bumpkin.
Huh? Yes. I never posted the picture. Maybe I'll do that before this one comes out.
Hilarious.
But dreams are weird, but those seem more significant.
I also heard, I feel like somewhere, if your teeth fall out.
Yeah, it means something.
It means something specific.
It does. But while I was literally pulling them out, after I pulled out the fourth one, I was like, it's because of Penelope. And then I woke up.
You've gotten like really good with your dream state.
I really have.
That's
I don't want to do that. I don't want to get that good with them.
Oh, you're doing that weird, like a hydroplaning thing. What's it called?
Astral projecting. Yeah, astral projecting.
Yeah, I mean, either one.
That's water based.
I don't know. It just sounded right in the moment.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It is really weird. I'm getting good at it, and I don't want to be because it freaks me out really bad.
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, I was also working at Starbucks while my teeth were falling out. I don't know if there is any profession that you dream for the rest of your life. Don't think I'll ever stop having Starbucks dreams.
Oh yeah, I still have serving dreams. I mean, it's such a stressful, high maintenance. Like, I loved serving. It was one of my favorite. I would go back to it.
Yeah,
I would go back to it tomorrow.
I would go back to Starbucks any day. I loved it.
But it's very stressful. It's very fast paced. I mean, you have to be on your toes the entire time.
Yeah.
So I still have them all the time. And usually my serving dreams are always that like they're this, kind of the same as like my college dreams that I used to have, but it would be like a group of tables sat down and nobody told me until it was like time for them to check the bill, like to get the bill. And I'm like, they didn't even have any food yet, but it's like, you got to bring in the bill. I'm like, what am I, so it's, I'm so stressed about how they're going to feel when I get up there and have nothing to give them. Yeah. That's how my college dreams were. I always dreamt that I would go the entire semester and then have to take the final I didn't even know that I was signed up for a class.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst dream. Yeah. My most vivid anxiety-induced Starbucks dream was that I was working and we were swamped and everybody I was working with were in the back. And I kept being like, I could use some help. And the lights, like they hadn't turned on the lights in the Starbucks yet. Yeah. But the lights outside, like the sun was going down and it kept getting darker and darker. And I'm trying to make all of these drinks and it's darker and darker and darker. And I'm like, I need lights. I need help. It was very stressful.
And then you started singing, "Don't let the sun go down on me."
Was that Elton John song we referenced? Yes, we're definitely getting sued now. Okay. First I talked about how I don't like him. And now... Sorry, Elton. Please don't sue us. We have no money. Oh my gosh. Maybe you'll take pity on us.
Definitely not going to respond to this.
Nope. We're definitely not going to have a fan favorite this week. Meghann sucks.
Okay. Can I, though, bump you next week and have Emily for next week?
Heck yeah. 2 weeks off. Go for it.
So, Emily. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Did you hear that? Well, listen, I sometimes forget.
I
always enjoy getting a fan favorite.
Okay. I do too, but I think we need to sit down and put our hours down for who does what outside this podcast. I work hours on editing.
Here it is. Like, listen.
4 hours extra a week that you don't have to even do.
Oh, so you want me to just do the fan favorite every week? I could do that.
I would love you to do that.
You don't want to do fan favorite anymore. You want me to just pick fan favorite every week? Yeah. Oh, well then I would never forget. I would know this is something I always had to do.
Yeah, I would love that.
Okay. And you don't care who I pick. You can give me a text if you're like, hey, pick this one.
Yeah. That sounds
okay.
I'm so excited.
All right. Well, y'all heard this there first.
y'all heard this. Abandoned.
All right. We know you already do everything for the podcast.
I'm just saying I clock a lot of hours out of it. You do listen for me.
Yeah, I do. I do that. And
I also get on. I schedule all the social media posts to go out on time.
You do.
I edit the pictures. I do a lot.
I know, you're a TikToker. I know. It's almost like you care if this goes somewhere. I don't care. I am only doing this for my enjoyment. I'm like, look, if y'all want to be a part of this, great. If not, I'm having a ball. Let's just have fun.
All right. Okay. So Meghann will, from this point on, forever pick the fan favorites.
I'm going to pick the fan favorites. Okay. So I love this. Start catering to me. I mean, bribery, compliments work great.
It actually works well because you're the debunker. So now it's like, well, I might have, debunked your story, but at least you're my fan.
Sure. You come back soften the blow with a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm down for it. This way I don't ever have to remember, is it my week? Is it not?
Yeah.
Okay. It might help me out. It might. We'll see. I mean, it is me after all.
All right. Well, cool.
I also have a toddler.
Yeah.
She's my number one excuse.
Yeah. And it's a valid one.
I guess maybe sometimes.
Okay. Well, if you all would like to support our podcast, you can go to My Skeptical Sister at www.myskepticalsister.com, where you can find out where to write us. You can find out about becoming a Patreon for $3 or $5. The $3 tier gets you all of our extra bonus content. The $5 tier is going to get you that extra movie night that we do once a month. And Mindy just joined our $3 tier today.
Of course you did, Mindy.
I know. It was so exciting. My best friend. Whatever. I hope she's cool with that. We will find out.
Again, there's that boundary, but we'll cross right over it. We don't care.
Just leap over. You can rate review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You can now rate on Spotify. For the months of April and May, if you write in for the first time, we're going to send you a sticker. Just make sure you write in your address at the bottom of that email. And I don't know if there's anything else.
Me neither.
Our bonus bloopers are going to come out on the 15th of every month. Our advice is going to come out on the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to put a little something out there every week.
Yes. And when we say we, she means I.
I do mean I. I am trying to put out something for you all every week.
And we appreciate it.
Bitch.
No, I don't. I really do mean it. I really do appreciate it.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I hope y'all are enjoying our little vintage pictures.
Oh, I hope they are too. I don't know. Have we gotten much feedback about those? I mean, I know people like them on Instagram, but
yeah, we've gotten some likes.
Good.
We had Christine reach out and was like, "Oh my gosh, is this you? It looks just like your children."
I know I haven't seen some of those pictures in forever.
I know. It was fun going through them. I need you to add to our folder.
I will. I have my pics. I'm waiting for you to ask me for them.
I asked
I
you
do
for
everything for this podcast.
I showed you the folder with all of our pictures, and I said, "Now put yours in."
Oh, that's right. I gotta upload them.
Yeah,
I just haven't picked out.
Okay. Send them to me, and I'll take a picture and I'll put them in.
Okay. Ma salamati.
La 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 la.
Okay. So do you want to read something else? You want to just go on and admit that I'm a failure?
I'm fully gonna admit that you're a failure.
Person comes and like they're all just sitting around at the water, sitting around at is it a water tank?
Water cooler.
The wooden pig cup. With the wooden pig cup, man. Where did
you sound like Daffy? No, what's Elmer Fudd?
Elmer Fudd. Where did the wooden okay. Yeah, that's a great one. Okay. Where were we at? What were we talking about? I lost like all context. I'm like, what is going on here?
Oh,